Excellent.
It is a big mystery cab, the big mystery cab, and that one I wasn't gonna show until we did all these other ones, but I'm just out of time.
Get ready for the next one.
Howdy guys, welcome back to Spacies Arcade, and for the annual New Year special, Happy New Year.
Yes. Happy New Year. Yeah.
Join with Sime.
Yeah.
Happy New Year to you guys. Clearly it's near the end of January.
At least we're in January this time.
I wasn't that late for the last one, was
Dude,
I?
I think it was.
Was it?
Yeah.
You said March. I don't think I was that late.
I feel it was.
It was
bad.
late. Yeah. What I want to say is that this channel has been all about my journey to build the ultimate arcade. Come a long way, got a lot of things done. The VIP room now is actually looking nothing to what I thought it would be designed for
It's had
originally.
quite a few transformations.
A lot of transformations, but I'm happy with it, and there's a lot. There's a lot more outside of this in terms of other machines, and then progressing that into a sort of a bigger arcade collection, which I didn't really plan to do, but it sort of turned out that way. And it was all about sharing that journey with you guys, and I'll continue to share that journey with you guys. Lots for me to continue to share, and today is no exception, because I want to make it up to you guys, because I have banged on again and again about, I'll tell you about this in the future. I'll tell you about that in the future.
Yeah, it's about this.
About this, and I never get there, and again, good reasons for that. But today I thought the mystery cabs, all the mystery cabs that we mentioned in the video, how many arcade machines do I have? Again, that wasn't a video to go, look how many arcades, but was like, oh shit, look how many arcades I've got. And going through that, a bit of a self-realisation, that's actually too...
Self-intervention?
It's self-intervention, a bit too many.
Yeah.
Through that process, I did a number of those where I said, this is a mystery cab, this is a mystery cab, this is a mystery cab, and we'll come back to it. And the reason for that, guys, was I was going to cover each one of those individually. And, they all deserve to be actually covered individually. And so I will... Here we go again. I will do that. No, I will do that. But I thought it's fair. Let's go through each of those cabs, talk with Sime here about each of those, get his thoughts on those. You'll see every single one of them. And guys, there is a big mystery cab, the big mystery cab. And that one I wasn't gonna show until we did all these other ones. But I'm just out of time.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Back to the future, man. Back to the future, out of time. So you get to hear all of those. You get to see the big mystery cab at the end. I hope you're going to be excited about it, because I'm excited about it. But then, who knows where it will all go. I'm talking next 2-3 months, things are going to be different. So we'll see.
Just another part of the journey, man.
Another part of the journey.
Yeah.
Second thing we will discuss, guys, for you guys that are interested in the 3D side of things for pinball, we're going to have a little chat about the red, blue anaglyph, if that's the right word.
That'll do.
3D, that'll do. I'll go with that. And guys, I have got into the VR space. You VR pinball guys out there will be pleased to know I finally bit the bullet and picked up a HP Reverb G2 Revision 2. And I got it really for some flight sim and get into some racing. I haven't even got the racing going, got a couple of days ago. I've got VPX going, guys. I've got VPX and VR going. And yes, you VR guys are completely 100% correct. It's freaking amazing.
It's pretty good. It is pretty good.
It is incredible.
Yeah.
And so Simey has gone on both of those. We're going to talk about that. And, there'll be more on that to come. And then we'll finish off today's session, and I think this is going to be a long session. I can feel it in my bones. But it's New Year, guys, so sit back, relax, grab a beer. But we'll finish up with some things that I've learnt, I think, over the last year. There's always things that I've learnt, which is good because it's a 12-month period, so there should be something there.
You should be learning something, yeah.
and then we'll finish up.
Sounds good.
Sounds all right?
Sounds big.
Sounds big.
Yeah.
So let's get straight into the mystery cabs, and the first one that we're going to start off with is one that you own, and it's not the one you're thinking.
Oh, okay.
You know, straight off the bat. But I'm talking about the LAI Big Red.
Oh, yeah, the old 26.
26-inch.
Yeah. I don't know what they used to
Screen.
call.
Would
Do they have a name for them?
they always call them like the low boys, fat boys and stuff. Those fat boy terminology tend to be with the big 26s, but they're all different size and shapes, right?
Yeah.
In Australia.
That was the one where it's almost like the full LAI spec, you know, NBA Jam, Turtles, but it's almost
it's
like
shorter.
a shorter.
It's shorter, isn't it?
Everything's the same, only it just doesn't have
The
the,
top
massive
is short.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the massive
I like
top.
'em.
Yeah, so
I
you've
like
got
'em.
you've obviously
Yeah,
got
I
your
got
own
one.
one, right?
Yeah.
So guys, you know, it's a multi-cab, and quite frankly, I think it's the best in Australia anyway, and because there's different ones around the world for these
Yeah.
sort of multi-cabs, but I think it's the best one. And the other thing is, of course, the interchangeable control panel, and you've got you've got the same wide setup, right?
Yeah, mine's wide for 4, I think.
Yeah, and which extends beyond the cabinet size, which is already fairly wide because it's a 26-inch monitor, right?
Yeah. Pretty versatile.
Yeah, it's a great cabinet. I mean, you can turn that controller into a 4-player, right?
Yeah.
Which is again for NBA and stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
Or you could shorten it up if you wanted to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty nice.
Yeah. So look, you know, not a massive wow cab, but a versatile cab, and you know, I'm partial to it. You know,
I use mine a lot.
Yeah. I think, you know, you can put real boards in that, put a pie in that, whatever you want to do. It's change out the marquee.
Yep.
Beautiful cab.
They're nice.
So that's the first one, guys. Moving on from that was the
You guys struggling to remember all the cabs?
struggling to remember.
mysteries, yeah.
So, guys, I already own an Outrun 2. Sit down. Yeah?
Yeah.
2 more came up. A twin set came up, guys, and the price, you know, we don't talk about prices specifically. I did show you the price. The price was cheap, wasn't it? The price was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? And you said, if I remember rightly, Simon I said, look, if it's that price, what are you going to do, right? And Simon said to me, well, if you already had an Outrun 2, you would let that deal go to someone else.
I said it's a great price for someone who doesn't
Someone else.
already own it.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I bought it already before he gave me that advice because I didn't think about
Wait, that's
that.
the only way I find out about cabs. It's like, hey, I've done this. What do you reckon? And I'm like, why do you even asking me about this?
Maybe it's something
So
like
3 Outrun 2s?
Do I
It's like,
change that this year? Do I ask Simon first?
Oh, no, it's too.
No.
I'm too real, man.
Too real.
Yeah. I'm like, what are you doing with that? I'm like your dad. What do you need that for? What about the other 60 cabs you got?
So, guys, we ended up picking up these 2 cabs. It was a complete debacle. I couldn't. It was in a shopping centre. It was underneath a shopping centre.
That was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, and I bought it. I got a trailer, hired a trailer, and it was too high to get in under the ground of the shopping centre. And I held up all the traffic, and I had to reverse the trailer back out.
Couldn't get
and then
in.
I had to go down the road and park like at a some car park. Like it was a good, I don't know, 500 metres away, which meant when we got the Outruns out, we had to push them down the street. As this car's going by, we're just wheeling
From a shopping centre.
From a shopping centre. It's like, what are these guys doing? And then I didn't even have I didn't have a lift trailer. It didn't have a drop down back, so we had to cantilever it. We had to lift up one end, cantilever it on. And guys, if you remember one episode way back when I said I actually got those machines, I didn't say what they were. I did then drive to the storage unit, dropped them off at the storage unit, and did nothing with them until the day that I emptied the storage unit, which is another story, another day. So anyway, 2 more Outrun 2s, and look, I didn't know if I wanted to touch on this one.
Why sensitive one?
It's sensitive. It's sensitive. I've got the Daytonas.
Yeah.
Right, and now I've got 3 Outrun 2s.
Yeah.
Now I don't need 3 Outrun 2s, but there is a bit of a vision for the machines and which ones I can have and which ones I can't. I can't have all of these. Some of these got to go. There is the potential, because those Outrun 2 cabinets are so nice. Like the seats are so nice. In fact, how new they are so nice. The plastic, everything. They're nice cabs. Yeah. I could set up 2 of those with PCs to be a multi and play everything. Yeah, he's going to go.
What the heck?
And sell the Daytona.
I mean,
and sell the Daytonas.
You could. Whoa. You know.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
How many beers?
Anyway.
All right. So
comments are staying active in this thread, right?
I have these strange ideas sometimes, and eventually I come back around and go, what was I?
Why did I sell my Daytona?
What was I on? Anyway, I have to work out something. I can't have 3 Outrun 2s. But anyway, that's that. So that's all the Outrun 2 stuff, which now leads me on to, now I remember what machine we were picking up, because we were picking up something else. Yes, that's right. So when we went to pick up the Donkey Kong and the Moon Patrol, and we picked that up from Michael at Player One, those weren't Michael's machines, they were another guy, Roy, in Perth, that had put those 2 machines there. But I got a great deal on those guys, and we've seen the Donkey Kong and Moon Patrol, great cabinets. When we picked them up, Michael said, I've got a machine at my house.
By the way.
I think look, at the end of the day, if it wasn't the machine, then I wouldn't have gone for it. But it's a classic machine. What are you going to do? What would you do?
I don't believe that, to be honest. I think it would have been a case of, like, it didn't matter what it was going to be. I was probably going to change it. Based on your experience with Michael and the amount of stuff you've...
these guys will agree with me. These guys. If you're going to go and pick up a couple of cabs and then someone says, hey, I've got this machine. Oh, what do you got? Nintendo Punch-Out. Nintendo Punch-Out. And as we know, twin screen, very unique. Big punch button is slightly different. Of course, it's got the Super Punch Out variant with the pull-up difference and stuff that you can do there. But Punch Out, guys, is it's a classic. I remember playing it back in the day. The graphics just blew me away. The whole wireframe thing. It was, when you looked at that, that was next level. That was a little bit, not quite like the Outrun impact. But
it's pretty close though, because it seemed like this transition
3D.
to. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because that was early. Punch Out was pretty early.
It was good. And having the 2 screens, even though there's not much happening on the top, it's just the score and all the rest of it. It was
cool.
Yeah. And story goes, right, that Nintendo had a glut with those size monitors, and need to get rid of
they're trying to find a way to. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and of course that same machine and setup was used for the Nintendo Play Choice as well, right? Yeah. So, guys, I think that's an awesome pickup. Again, we will come back to these machines because we'll have to, because we want to go through them, and each one's got its own issues and things to fix.
And story.
So we will get back to that another time. But today is just a big reveal for the new year. So yeah, Punch Out is the next one.
Punch Out's like for those American folk, like basement arcade staple for most that have. Like if they have a Nintendo cab, Donkey Kong is one, and I feel like Punch Out sits pretty.
I see it a lot.
Yeah,
you're right.
Almost like, I've got to have a Punch Out in my arcade, Over here, we don't get Punch Outs. That's just not a thing. But so I guess does that mean your levels like you get into US basement arcade status?
No, I'm not getting anywhere near that. So you guys in the US are seriously spoiled. I mean, again, for us, when we see things like this. As you say, like have you seen another Punch Out anywhere? Who's got a Punch Out?
No one has a Punch Out. I mean, we're going to hear about it. Shut up, man. We got Punch Out.
Yeah, it's just a bit different. So we get a little bit more excited about these cabs. But, anyway, Punch Out's classic. The next piece, the next mystery cab, is an interesting one for many reasons. So, won it on auction, doesn't have a game board, doesn't have a monitor chassis, has a monitor in it, Might have an earth cable.
Gosh.
There's wiring in there. There is wiring. Guys, all the no decals. No decals. It's, you know, it's
What else doesn't it have?
The control panel's been butchered.
Well, what about the controls though?
Yeah, no controls.
No
aren't.
controls.
The original,
Oh,
the
okay.
original controls aren't there.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So what we're talking about, guys, is basically some wood. Designed in a cabinet, which you will all recognise. And look, I don't think you'll think I'm completely crazy here. But it is Atari's 720. Now, even just thinking about the wood, and I have to because that's all I've got.
Yeah, that's right.
This cab is heavy.
Yeah, it's a big cab.
It's a big cab.
Big cab.
And it's built solid.
Yeah.
It's built solid. Now, guys, this is the thing. As I said, nothing in it, no boards or anything. And whoever owned it before has cut the original 720 control panel out and put a dual side-by. Look at you, you're biting your tongue. Putting a dual side-by-side control panel in there. Now, I'll say right now, two things. One, the 720 cab with the artwork, and especially the boombox, is just iconic.
It's a cool
80s.
cab.
It's a
Yeah,
cool,
it's a cool
cab,
cab.
right?
Yeah.
And I'll say it now that this is one of those cabs which I love it just for the cabinet, which is bizarre, but I just do. And having that in your lineup is, I think, it makes it. It's 80s. It's just, you know. So, you know, to get all that back, I'm going to have to get all the decals and everything for the cabinet because it's not there. But, you know, I love that. The second thing is that 720 as a game is not a big favourite of mine. I played it at Cow's, as you saw, badly. Cow's really good at it. I know a lot of people really, really like it. I think I could probably get a taste for it. It's got the strange controller on it, right, which is unique, which is really awesome. Interestingly enough, I picked up a sort of mock controller like that, which is like on a spinner. So, but it's on an angle, so it's like
It doesn't have like a Coke can on it. You know, something.
something like that. But I have that, and the interesting thing is that I love the cabinet. I'd actually want to make it a multi, and it's almost like the person who did this to the cabinet has done me a favour, because now there's just no way I would cut into an original 720 like that.
Oh, so because someone's done it.
I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad. So
You don't feel bad about still continuing to
continuing
not make it a
the-
720.
yeah.
Like, but
look, hey,
there.
there's a website where people like just like pile on to people that have bastardized 720 machines.
Oh,
and there's a
Could
whole
be a lot.
there's pictures of them, right?
Yeah.
And you know,
Yeah.
there's contracts out on some of those people.
Maybe like a golden tea, but a multi for what? Like,
Well, the thing is in all seriousness, it's a 25-inch screen there.
yeah.
It's in a perfect prime position right in front of you.
Well, I mean, that's how arcades usually work with
That's Mortal Kombat. That's
Oh, sure, my God.
that's a
No,
720
no,
machine.
Hey, we got to stop.
Well,
This is going on the internet.
Daytona's
man.
going.
I don't want to be. People are going to associate me
2023.
with butchering a 720. I'm like, oh, hold on, man.
Is this why Spacies is not going to be around?
Yeah.
It's gonna be people after me now.
Yeah, the
There's
fire.
people after- yeah. So anyway, guys, I'm excited. We'll see what happens there. At the end of the day, that's down the list of all the things that need to happen this year anyway. So that's a long way off. We'll come back to it. It's there. It's part of the lineup.
I did it.
I did it. Yeah, what can you do? That's my learnings for, well,
Well, I mean, you know,
maybe for the end of
learnings.
next
Yeah,
year.
sure. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. All right, which leads us to
Yes.
the two imported machines
Oh,
we
yeah,
got from the
right.
USA, which, yes, I spent way too much money because all the import fees and all the rest of it. So now it's time to reveal those two machines, guys, but they are two cracking machines, I think, and quite frankly, you know, there's a lot of time gone under the bridge. I've forgotten how much I paid now for each of them, if you added it up. They're both still sort of projects in a way. Yeah, not bad projects, but, you know,
Not 720 project.
No,
but
not 720. Yeah, got a little bit to be done.
Shining up.
Shining up. But without further suspense, the first one we'll talk about is Super Hang-On.
Oh, yeah.
Super Hang-On.
Yeah.
Now, you have one, Simon.
Sure do.
And why do you have it?
Because it's wicked. Actually, no, I have a very abusive relationship with Super Hang-On as a kid. Because I only ever played I don't ever remember seeing the stand-up version over here. I only ever remember seeing the ride-on. And as a kid, trying to play Super Hang-On on a ride-on bike, well, you were going to get your ass kicked every time. And every time I put money in...
Was it hard to lean?
Yeah, man.
It looks like...
And I'm talking like I was like 9 years old or 10 years old or something when Super Hang-On's out. Because it was like 87 or something, you know. So I used to love the game, and I used to get on there, and then I'd get my ass kicked because I can't do it. And then I'd be like, stuff this game, I'm out. Why'd I waste my money? And the next arcade I walk into was like, yeah, Super Hang-On, yeah. I put money back in.
But was it all? But it wasn't. Did you have the stand up at one of those arcades, or was it
never?
No,
only
it was
yeah.
the
As
bike.
a kid, I always played on the bike.
Wow.
Yeah, and there was an opportunity, I think, to get one on a bike. But the size, the whole fiberglass thing.
Yeah.
I was like, no, nah.
It's got the screen cut in. Is it the Super Hang-On? It's got the screen cut in, or was that Hang-On? Was it above? I can't remember.
So the sit-on one sat lower down, but it was separate to the bike.
Separate to the bike, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was the original Hang-On, not sure. But anyway, it's a cracking game, right?
Oh, Super Hang-On's wicked.
Yeah, and I did talk about the story about, we played it at your work where it was.
Oh,
we had
yeah,
a session
gotcha,
that night with Pav, and that was the night. I was in love with that game, and again, I more than likely played it back in the day, but I can't remember. But it's a classic Sega game, and it's so much fun. In fact, I saw Alex from over in the UK.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was Nintendo Arcade, now he's
of course, yeah,
Arcade.
okay, yeah.
Alex, and full props to you, by the way. If you are watching, he does watch a few of my videos, but Alex, if you're out there, mate, what a sensational job. Like, this is a guy that, he's got a day job, he does trades as well, and yet he pulled together that basement. Have you seen those videos where he's
I did see some.
stripped it all and it was all painted, and now the full arcade's done. It's like
okay, I'm with you now. Yeah.
It's just insane, amount of work. If I think about just me sticking CDs up on the wall, how long that takes. And Alex went through and redid all of that. It was an amazing museum that he's got set up there. Full props to you, man, if you are watching.
Yeah, it's nice.
And anyone else, check out his channel. Arcade Archive. Yeah, it used to be Nintendo Arcade.
Yeah, it was Nintendo one.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, Alex, he'd appreciate it because he's got one. He got one, I think, in the last year again.
Oh, recently?
Bang again. It's beautiful too.
Yeah.
Nice white.
Yeah, that's the real catch.
Mine into it.
Yeah.
So you would have seen from the pictures that I'll be hanging in here, guys, that mine needs a lot of work. This machine and the other machine, I believe, were dropped in shipping. And unfortunately, I got a crack on the top of the cowling,
Sucks.
Which needs to be resolved, and then painting of that, and there's stuff to be done there. But it's working and it's complete. Yeah. And even though I paid a bit for it, I don't regret it. It's a classic.
Super Hang-On's awesome.
It's a classic. Yeah. So great to have a motorbike game in the lineup. We had Enduro Racer. Of course,
I was going to say, wait a minute.
That didn't land where it should have. So anyway, guys, Super Hang-On. So that leads us to just two more. So the other one was the other USA pickup. So we'll touch on that, and that is
that's a big deal.
Atari's Color Vector. Unfortunately, not Star Wars. Space Duel. Good game.
It's before my time. But yes. Yeah.
It was fun, right? You and me had a
for sure.
Crack on
Yeah,
it.
I enjoy it. Yeah. 100%.
Guys, it's a beautiful color vector.
Dude, it looks weird.
It's really, really nice. Unfortunately, it's not working right now.
Thanks, Vectors.
I was in this room, it was in here at the time, and I started smelling something that wasn't quite like roast beef. And a slight nastier sort of smell to it. So there was some fireage,
Something was happening.
something sparklers,
Not part of the game.
not part of the game.
Yeah.
I turned the game off, guys. It was still working when I turned it off, so that was interesting. Like, the game hadn't actually gone out, but there was
I
something
remember you saying that,
burning.
yeah.
There was something burning.
My game's on fire. Should I
Game's
keep
on fire.
playing?
Should I keep playing? That was.
mean,
I'll
glitches.
You know, I'll say that thought did cross my mind. I thought, well, it's still going.
I might have to get one more shot. I've got to savor it.
It's still going.
But that has way more. I felt like that game has far more value to you than a lot of the a majority of the games that are.
Well, the thing is that I picked up a DVG USB DVG, sorry, which is the multi-vector kit, and there is hopefully very, very soon there is I can connect it up now, but I have to do it sort of manually. But they've got a board where you can just hook it into, and then you can swap in your actual board and the DVG, and then play any color vector game on there. And that was a big part of the reason why I was selecting that one. I just thought this is a really nice platform for me to get a multi-vector color vector and just play all the color vectors on it. It's just
that was one you want. That was on your list.
Yeah.
That was a Grail list item.
That was definitely a Grail list item. And I can play Star Wars on there. I could get an Allen 1 yoke and put it on a separate control panel and put it in there for 3 months, right, and just play Star Wars.
Sure.
So there's those options. So yeah, that I think those two machines, even though again they cost a lot, that was awesome to add to the collection.
Oh, I agree with that. Yeah, I agree.
So guys, that leads us to one final machine, and what we're going to do.
Really considering if you're going to wing that or not.
What we're going to do, because I wasn't going to show you guys this machine for another time, because there's so much behind this machine, but I feel like, again, I owe it to you guys. I've had it now. How long have I had it?
Well, there's...
Well, Well, this is the problem, right?
I mean,
I had part of it at one point.
Oh, which time?
There is a story. Put it this way, guys. There's been look, at least 6 months. I think I've had the whole machine.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
And it's been frustrating because I've been really wanting to cover it and show you guys. So what we're going to do is we'll cut into this video right now and show you the machine, and then we'll have a quick chat about it.
Cool. Yeah, sim is what I want. Wait. It's okay. I know what I'm doing. Oh my god.
Please start.
Let's go. Give me traction. Hey, wait. Dodgy Greg's Arcade. Whoa. I'm already out. Oh man, the slowness. Can I do 4? Please. Whoa. Man, I don't remember that quarter being that bad. Hey, was it this time of day when we played last time, like sunset?
I think it's random in terms of the weather
Where's
effects.
Oh, you suck. Whoa. Oh, 6. Go, 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 go. Whoa. Oh man, this shifting sucks. Get there. Oh, please.
Game over.
So guys, Ferrari
Surprise.
F355 Deluxe is now in the arcade. It's taken
Well,
up one side of the house.
The house. It's in the house. It's
in the house.
It's in the house.
Thoughts?
I don't know what to say, to be honest. So I've got to have supportive thoughts. Yeah, man, nice, good deal.
Well,
Bit of a journey to get it
yeah,
in.
it was
Quite the surprise,
yeah,
because that thing is massive. Pretty cool game though.
it's a great game.
Yeah. It's kind of one of those. Wait, why have you got it?
Yeah.
Aside from like having a good deal.
No, that's it's a good question. I'm pretty sure I actually saw one previously, and in fact I did, because this is one of 4 that came out of the New South Wales Panthers Rugby League Club.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
They apparently had 4. Joey gave me the
hell,
backstory.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And they slowly got, put off.
Wait, because he was
auction.
watching the auction or whatever at the same time?
No, I believe he was involved in servicing.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah, okay.
Because, guys, that machine has 4 Naomi boards in it, right? So it's got one controller board, and then there's an individual Naomi board for each of the 3 monitors to power the graphics on each 3, and then it's all connected through a joining
She's
board.
A monster.
It's a complex machine. And and I believe I saw one originally, and I did a little research there, and I must admit, the first time I saw it, I was like, this is huge. I was like, why? Why would who would have?
Although I will say, like, it is big, but it's not.
It's not. It's not as big as you might.
Yeah.
If anything, what I think makes it look bigger is just sheer, the sheer canopy of the back of that comes out.
Yeah.
It's about. If you want a bit of an idea, it's about 2.5 size of a Daytona in width. So it's like the Daytona width with another half of a Daytona is about the width of it, right? So
One
twin,
Daytona
twin,
and a half.
no, twin and a half.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or it might be just
I reckon
a
it's
twin.
not quite as big as that.
No, it is quite big. It's just the wings of those monitors come out quite wide.
Yeah,
Yeah, the base isn't, but if you go wing to wing, and because it comes up so big at the back, that again is what makes it so big.
I think just design looks imposing.
Yeah. Design looks, but it's such it's an awesome game, and the more I played it. I played it even on PS2. It was released on there.
Yeah.
Guys, I did give you some Easter eggs. None of you found it, but I don't think none of you were really crawling through what was he meaning? I'm crawling through second by second. Yeah. We had it on the magazine stand, one of the magazines. Hang on, let me just grab it.
It's got an Avengers poster.
Guys, this was the Easter egg. Was Edge Magazine special on 355 Challenge, and that was sitting in the magazine rack. And it was tucked, behind the...
What the hell is
the analog machines and computer games magazines. Like, it was totally out of place, because it's like a new magazine.
And I was talking about pinball.
Evil games. Yeah. And a great article in that magazine on this. And, of course, the designer is Suzuki.
Yeah.
Who did
the boss.
Outrun, who did Super Hang-On, who drove and owned a Ferrari F355.
So we should.
And I think he forced his crew who were programming it to drive the car to make sure that it could be as realistic as possible. And it's an awesome sim. It's a 6-speed shifter in the top, advanced mode with clutch. The game is... It's an awesome sim. It still stands up well today, and surprisingly enough, since having it, I didn't think my kids, even my youngest, with their friends when they came over, I thought none of them would get in that machine, because they go on the Outrun 2, and it's it's drifty.
Drifting, guys.
But they have all played it. They've all hopped in there and played it, and not just once. They've gone back in and played it.
That's a good test.
And even on the beginner thing where it does auto braking and stuff. It's almost like a little bit of a driving thing, like an introduction to driving, which is a little bit like hard driving, when that came out.
Oh, no, we don't talk about hard driving. Oh, no.
Frame
Too
rate.
much trauma.
Frame rate.
Too much trauma.
15 frames per second.
Oh, yeah, that too, yeah. Sorry for hard driving fans, but
But guys, look, we'll have to come back to it another day. Right now, as you may or may not have determined from the footage, but we tell you now that there is a problem with the memory, and because of that problem with the memory, there is slowdown in the game, and it's really unfortunate because now that I know that it's there, it's killing me because it's like you get into, nice smooth bit, and then it's like half frame rate, and then it just puts you off.
Yeah, it's tough.
So I want to get it smooth, 60 frames a second. It is a memory issue. I fixed Sega and also Joey both said yes, it's a common thing that those have memory issues on those Naomis, and the game still plays. It doesn't freak out any other way, but it must be like doing like error correction and then going no, and it keeps coming back with different stuff, and it just goes a bit weird. So guys, we'll come back to that. There's missing from fluoros and stuff. There's still some things to do there, and you would have seen, you may or may not have picked out that the third screen is not actually a CRT at all. It's a LCD television slotted in there.
Big hack job.
It was a hack job. I think that was done before you came over and was done. I was on a mission because I had to get these 3 monitors going, guys, and I can tell you right now, all 3 were dead when I got it. So again, there's a lot of story behind all that. I do have archival footage and stuff. I'll try and bring it out, get that story. What I'll do is I'll get the game fixed, or get the memory fixed, so we can really have a good look at it, and then we can have a look at that backstory another day. But it's here, guys. It's in the arcade, and hopefully we can get that 355 up to spec, and it stays a permanent fixture of the arcade because it's just a classic, and I want to play it. And when we played it. And previously, not today, but previously before, you can hang it out. Like you can get the back out. You can drift it. You can drive
it. Make it feel the way you want to drive it.
That's right. And you can lose it. Exactly. Exactly. So guys, tell me what you think of all those pickups down below. Which ones you like? You think I made some good purchases there over this year? Certainly got a good lineup of machines. It's now time to then cull those down. So before we talk about what we're going to do coming up this year off the back of things we learnt, we're going to touch on now and talk about 3D pinball.
Cool. Yeah, okay.
And you would have seen on the episode with Maria for the Christmas special, introduced her a little bit to. Am I saying it right with the anaglyph? I'm going with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Glasses pinball.
And glasses 3D pinball.
Cellophane pinball.
So, Sime, before we started this video, I got him to look at that, and as I said, I've got the VR now, so I got him also on the VR. So I think, for another opinion, let's get your thoughts, mate, on what you thought, first of all, of the anaglyph setup.
Well, I think for what it is, it was pretty decent. Yeah. I mean, there's not much to it. At the end of the day, if you've got a cabinet like this, and all you've got to do is buy some $20 glasses and run a shader to have 3D, I think it's worth, for most people that have it, obviously you're going to have that kind of money to be able to just buy some glasses and give it a go. Some tables definitely look better than others, but depending on how much attention they put into it and tune it up a bit, I think it's nice, versus the alternative, which is whatever amount of money to have 3D and VR and whatever. We're just talking a handful of bucks that they would be spending on a solenoid if they use, DOF or whatever, it's a pretty small expense to add that layer to it. So I personally, I think it's worthwhile just to do it and suss it out. And then I assume, because of that whole... it's like force feedback for pinball. You could either go full relay, solenoid situation, or you could go poor man's DOF, which is just speakers and whatever. It's the same sort of thing with VR. It's like, everyone's got the funds available to give it a shot and see how it looks. But I thought it was pretty decent, for what it was. Yeah. And
so the thing is, guys, is that in VPX there are settings to set this up in 3D, but I tried that, and for whatever reason it didn't work for me. So there were some settings in there. So it was a separate shader, and again, we have to look at that another time because you've got to go into the shader itself and the settings. It's not the video for that, but I can share that with you and how I set it up on mine. I think it's going to be different for a lot of people, and some people probably use the native settings of VPX, so it'd be even easier. But I think the thing for me is, and I think you realise this, especially we played Fishtails first of all, and it's not the best, but then we played Tron, and you know you really could see the levels of real 3D in the table. It's not completely clear. I said before, it's like chromatic sort of thing. I feel like the colouring, and just when you're wearing those glasses, it's just like a slightly weird colorization of things. It's not completely terrible, and you get used to it.
Yeah.
But it is there, you know. And
but we're talking about like there's no investment.
There's no investment.
Run
in
the
it.
shader.
No, that's
and
right.
Just
exactly.
Get some cellophane.
And put some thing.
You know,
and you playing Tron, right? I can't play that game now without the glasses. I can't do it because it's that much better.
Yeah.
It's that much better. So, guys. So until that episode comes out, you can do your own research and look up the Anaglyph 3D. There's a lot of details on that on the VP forums, and do some research on it and check it out. As Simon said, it's the cost of the glasses. I don't think anything was $20. It's like $10.
If you buy glasses, you just get bits of
$10
cellophane and just stick it in. Make your own.
No, but the glasses, to be fair, those glasses are nice glasses, right?
Do you know what you pay for those glasses?
I seriously, I think they're only like $10.
Oh,
like $10 or $15. And I mean, they're like nice sunnies.
Yeah. I hope that it tunes up a bit because it's kind of like we're in testing. Well, I mean, VPX is in testing forever, but some stuff, some tables looked better than others, and I think with a bit of tuning up, like it can actually be really good for what seems to be something quite minimal. You know
what's really weird? Yeah. Now that I've just stuck these on, it's now that we've got Tales of the Arabian Nights over here, guys, and I've got some loose cardboard and stuff, just of some packaging sitting on the table at the moment, and the whole table's just gone 3D underneath it. It's just like, what the heck? Yeah. Have a look, man. Have a look, it's crazy.
Man, it just gives such a nice depth, eh? Anyway, it's okay.
Anyway, sorry, guys, that's not helpful for you guys. But it is good, but it's not VR, right?
That's kind of next level, yeah.
Yeah. So if we talk about now going from that and then going to the...
Oh, I could say very akin to those that did do the BAM Connect.
Future. You were saying that.
Kind of
similar to BAM.
Yeah. Not many people would have done that, but if anyone did, like it's kind of the level we're at.
Similar.
Almost. Yeah.
So we went from that, guys, and then I put Sime on the VR on the HP Reverb G2. What was your thoughts?
That was pretty impressive. Yeah, VR pinball, now that the headsets are starting to... Because that was always a limitation. First of all was, the virtual pinball in itself wasn't really evolved. But the headsets were a limitation because resolution, refresh, like the pinball, it's just not a thing. Like it's really hard. But with that headset, using what we do... Yeah, I would just not even buy a... It's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, I only just set that up yesterday, guys, and started loading the tables, and I was just blown away, which, again, is why I resonate with all you VR guys that go, VR, it's the future, why isn't there VR? It's like, I get it. And even when Simon was playing it and I was watching, I could still see what he was doing on the screen. So it's not completely, you could say it's like a solo thing and, you're in VR so no one else can enjoy it. But people can still watch you play. I can watch you play. Yeah. You can still do it like that and, swap. But, I guess that's the slight compromise with something like the Anaglyph. You both have put the glasses on and just chuck them on normally. And play normally. Yeah. A little bit more social, a little bit more easy to just swap in and then put on a headset and stuff. But it's for solo play, like, wow, you can sit for hours, go through every machine, and it's like having the real machine.
Isn't it? If you made the physical setup, to match what you were doing, which is what had been done previously, you know, with making the pedestals and adding some feedback and stuff in there.
That's all you need.
It is...
That with that VR headset, you can sit and play any machine you think you're playing.
But it is headset dependent.
Yeah. And I told Simon, I said to him, I said, when I played it, I accidentally put my hands thinking I was going to put it onto the actual pinball machine because that's how real it is. And he did the same thing.
I was trying to
even after I told you.
I was trying to nudge it.
You were trying to nudge it. And it was just crazy. I put Simon on Microsoft Flight Simulator as well. And
the headset's nice.
It's crazy good.
Nice.
I was playing, I was saying to Simon earlier, I was playing in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I did have a beer at the time, guys, and I had it on the side of the couch, and I was in the cockpit of the plane, and it's just so real in there. I picked up the beer and I lifted it over the other control stick.
Don't knock the course.
The control stick. It's that crazy. It's and look, you know, it's taken a long time for VR to develop, but I think, you know, the next generation that's going to come out, probably, you know, circa 24. I think we're going to be right in 24, 25 is going to be an area of, it's been pretty slow development, but VR, there's a place for it, like a big place for it, for simulation.
It's still a bit niche, but yeah. I mean,
it's still a niche,
If they, you know, continue hey, at least they're going to make headsets that keep trying to push. You know, we're getting into like higher refresh, higher resolution, you know, than those that are in VR, then awesome. Because for us that are like flight sim or racing, and now adding in, you know, pinball, because it's still for VR, there's not a lot of, you know, area for it to kind of go.
Yeah.
Most people playing shooters, like you can't, it's not anyway, that's a whole other conversation. But as far as like these headsets keeping up and seeing, you know, I think that was the one thing that really I appreciated about the VR was like seeing the VPX tables in true VR makes them look like what they should look like when you're running it's like, oh, it looks so realistic. It's just like, well, the translation to the realistic view is in VR because it does actually look and feel incredibly realistic. Where I was just like, oh, respect to these tables that already look good on just TVs, you know?
And then it's like,
but you just move that to VR and it looks like it's a real machine. Yeah, I was quite impressed.
And super smooth.
Yeah, they actually ran really nice.
Ball was so smooth.
Yeah. But that's your
that's a refresh
HP
rate
kit
on the
got.
kit. Yeah. So highly recommend it, guys.
Keep an eye on that stuff. Yeah.
It's going to keep getting better for us, and then we're really quite spoiled. And you know, and when you do that, it's like you got so much entertainment value there. And look, I really am hoping that people like Zen, you know, I know they would look at the numbers. They've done Pinball FX 2, which was VR. Surprisingly, they came out with Star Wars VR not long ago, right?
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting because I thought, well, if they thought there was no market there, why would they invest in that, right? They did that, but they've never released VR across all the original tables, and it does surprise me somewhat unless there's some licensing restriction for them to do that.
I wouldn't have thought so.
You wouldn't think so, right?
No, just time.
Yeah, but if nothing else, I think the community is at least providing a service. I know, you know, it's a bit of a grey area and all the rest of it, and recreating these when they're unlicensed, but hopefully there's a benefit to people like Zen when they can see that there is a big community growing behind VR for VPX, and in a way it's almost like a bit of paid marketing, you know, for them to sort of see where that market is and what the size could be, because you know, because even though it might be small in VPX, in a commercial sense, you could multiply that by 5 to 10 potentially.
Well, also with the headset evolution, is you're trading off someone building a cabinet to having just the headset and making the, you know, say the pedestal or whatever, because cost-wise, you know, cabinet would be way more than buying VR and building a small kit. So you're kind of like, they're making a cabinet mode in
in Pinball FX.
Yeah, and for someone who has the cabinet cost is like $4 grand, $5 grand.
Exactly.
Yeah,
huge.
so you know, like there's a trade-off.
It's a cheaper.
So it might
to
shift
get in, right?
to like, hey, more people are getting VR now because they don't have the money to build the cabinet.
And if I was at games or Arcade 1-Up, I would be.
Oh, for sure.
I would be building a pedestal.
Yeah.
I would be building a pedestal with
Yeah.
with all the force feedback in it that people just buy and
Get your
take
headset.
home. Put your headset on, and that's the most realistic
Yeah, for
pinball
sure.
experience. And and ultimately, as you say, it's cheaper than a full pin.
Yeah, and
There's-
I'm going to
There's a market for that.
I'm going to question
Big
the
market.
level of experience that you're going to have with it too, because we're just playing on a keyboard with a headset, and I was like, oh my god, this looks incredible.
Yeah.
If I was standing up,
You were on,
the
yeah,
thing,
with
it's like,
force
oh,
feedback and
Yeah.
that's a guy. Look,
Anyway,
it's going to happen. Like something's going to happen in that space because that is awesome. So I'm with you guys, you VR guys, right behind you. Let's maybe get some VR stuff happening on the channel as we progress.
yeah.
We'll see what happens there. All right, so that leads us, now that we've talked about that, lessons learned, Simon.
Me? No. No lessons here. For like last year or the journey
Last year
in life?
in life. No. There's a few things that I'd like to share here, and that is one is the maintenance thing across these machines is getting out of hand.
You're like figuratively an operator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's, anyone who has more than like 10 machines will resonate with this feeling of just that one's down, that one, and that's what happened at the back of the day as well. And the machines were new then, and now there's just problem after problem. Outrun just recently developed a graphical issue. The Space Shuttle pinball machine now starts up in settings mode. You roll through the settings and then it resets and comes up with setting modes. You roll through the settings again, it resets and it comes good.
That's
And it's like, I don't even know logically how that works.
Sure, Space Shuttle.
But it's consistent.
Based on the history of that machine,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised at all.
Firepower, it was working in free play and then would just stop. And now it seems to be in
Overlord just wants money.
ceased to be in credit mode. So, but it's taking credits and now working.
Oh, right.
Which, as I
wants
go to the
money.
settings, but it seems like I
gangster.
changed it to free play before and then it did the same thing, like it would work for a while. So again, okay, now talking about it, maybe it's resetting its settings somehow and it's going back to coin mode at some point there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but anyway, I can put it on credits and play it. But it's just
That's
like
sweet.
it's that Space Invaders. It will stay on for 10, 15 minutes and then just start glitching out.
Like long enough to sell? Or... Can start threatening these machines, man. Maybe they'll come good on their own.
It's not the right way to do it, right?
Yeah.
So, no. So, I've got to fix that. And, of course, Space Jewel with the
fire.
the beef stroganoff thing going on there is not good. Pole position,
No, please.
I think, is held up.
Oh.
Touch wood. I'm not saving high scores on that, though, so we need to sort that out. Donkey Kong, funnily enough, moving it from here into the other room, it would scroll for about 5 minutes, the screen here, and now it just comes up good.
Oh.
It's just like, and I remember playing around with the vertical hold, and it's like so sensitive, like over to microns.
Yeah.
So I think between moving it, it's like just move
knocked it enough to-
slightly enough. I don't
Damn it.
touch it now, right? It's like, so that's going. Defender, of course, has got the J-Rock board in there. It's solid as a rock.
Yep.
Pun not intended. But that's great. I mean, it's a multi. It's not the original board, but that's actually been the one that stayed up. The Totem, I've still got problems with the flashing units. I've still got a switch out from ages ago, like from last year.
Oh, yonks ago, yeah.
From last year, right? So that's still out.
It's the operator blues, man.
8-ball champ. I think some of the rollovers are still
no.
not working. I mean, they haven't been working for a long time. They don't affect the game hugely, but they just don't light up properly. And then all the projects in the garage.
Yeah.
It's a never-ending thing. So, what have I learned from that? What I've learned even from the recreation of VIP lounge here, with a lot of these machines now are multis. I've got the PC running a lot of stuff, which I have.
Did you say recreation?
Hey,
Did you say recreation?
Emulation.
Recreation of the. It's like full circle. I don't know if you're.
Well, it is. It is. It is
There's a
very much right.
recreation
I've
of
come
that.
back full circle. A lot of stuff that was in here originally, and that was my original intention with Theatre of Magic, to go more down the emulation route. But I, fell in love with the originals, and I still love them. But it's just it's a love-hate relationship. They take up a lot of space.
Yeah. Awesome when they work.
Awesome when they work.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've learned that, and so therefore, from that learning, I have to cut back. I've got to cut back through this year. We've got to cut back. This will help me with my other situation anyway. So I'm going to cut back. I think that's going to be all right, and we'll see how far we have to go there. I'd like to maintain a number of key machines still. But I think I mentioned over Christmas, if I just had what was in this VIP lounge, I'd be happy.
Oh man, well that's sure.
I mean, all that
good.
The other
Great.
stuff,
Great.
Other stuff is excess.
Yeah.
It really is. You don't need it.
Well, who's this guy? Who's this guy? They're going to scroll back to like 20 minutes in and be like, wait a minute.
What happened here?
Here's all the stuff I did.
Yeah. Well,
So-
the other thing that I've learned
Oh, okay, yeah.
is that you can change your opinion on things as life goes on.
Sure you can. Yes.
So you might say one thing, and then 2 weeks later, go, well, I don't mind.
What was I thinking?
Actually, I don't mind having.
Oh, sorry, wrong way around. Wrong way around.
I don't mind having 50 machines.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Sure.
So things change, and so there's that.
Yes.
What else have I learned? Storage. Don't do it.
Don't do storage,
Don't
Ralph.
do storage.
Oh,
Oh,
just
don't do storage.
yeah.
Don't do storage, guys.
No.
Storage is really only useful if you're like moving house and you've got to put something with if you've got to put something temporarily
Storage
somewhere.
in the arcade world is intervention point.
It is.
If someone says storage, it's
Just-
like you need
right,
to
sit
get
down,
in there.
get friends.
Oh no.
Get friends, sit them down.
Yeah.
It's a waste of money. It's a waste of money. You've got
Yeah.
machines sitting there doing nothing. I know you sort of think, oh, you're going to do something one day with them.
No,
day.
No, you're not.
That one day.
No, you're not.
Never.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to come, guys. So, yeah, no storage. I did it 3 times before I learnt that lesson.
Did what?
Storage.
What do you mean?
I did it 3 times. And I did it first time, cancelled. I'm not doing this
Oh,
again.
it's in and out, in and out.
No,
Oi,
and then went storage again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they said, no, I'm not doing this again.
And what do you
Then
know?
did it for the 3rd time. 3 times.
Yeah.
3 times it takes me. I learned that lesson. Anyway, so that I think that's it. That's the 2 biggest lessons I've learnt, and also, it pains me to say it, but emulation and so forth is not bad.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. And it's tough. It's a tough area. It's a tough area. But anyway, guys, we will see what happens. I do feel like, even though now it's almost gone back to square one with what's in this room, but how it's set out is completely different to how I started. Remember, I had the rear projector screen and all sorts of other issues in here.
Changed.
But it's changed a lot. I've got everything in here I really love. And
Its purpose has shifted.
Its purpose has shifted. Every area has some function, and I really, really, really do enjoy it. If nothing else, if Spacies ends up, disintegrating by the end of the year, if I at least have this, or at least have records of this, and what I had here, I'd be happy, because I feel like I've achieved more than what I thought this space could be, just a space.
Yeah.
Let alone all the other.
The other spaces.
Yeah, is that why it's Spacies?
Spacies. Yeah.
Ah,
Oh, worked it out. 2023. Yeah.
Wow, guys. So anyway, look, I hope you enjoyed that. A bit of a talk fest, but you got to see a bit of gameplay there from the F355, and
Reveals.
yeah, big reveal. And look, really have a great new year. Kick in there, get your arcades going.
Stay strong.
Stay strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll leave it there for now. Otherwise, we'll see you in the Raw and Uncut, which is coming out just after this video.
Ooh.
Until then, guys, ciao for now.
Kick and fight like a robot.